Okay, so you know that Lord Dalhousie initiated the doctrine of lapse policy. According to the doctrine of lapse policy, if a ruler died without his son or without heir, then company annex his property. It will be company's property. Okay, and this will part of the company, and so that company annexed one by one state. First, they annexed Satara under that doctrine of lapse policy. Then Sambalpur, then Udaipur in 1852, then Nagpur in 1853, Jhansi in 1854, and last they annexed Awadh. But this time they give another reason, that there is a misgovernment in Awadh, and so that they annexed Awadh also. So, enraged by the humiliating way in which the Nawab was deposed, the people of Awadh joined the great revolt that broke out in 1857. And when Awadh Nawab complained that why are you taking my state, okay, then they deposed to Awadh Nawab. So that is about the doctrine of lapse policy. Then setting up a new administration. Setting up a new administration. British East India Company set a new administration. Warren Hastings. He was the Governor General from 1773 to 1785. 1773 to 1785. He was the Governor General. Who? Warren Hastings. So he was the one of the very important and very ambitious Governor General. Warren Hastings, Governor General from 1773 to 1785, was one of the main important figures who played a significant role in the extension of company power. Lord Dalhousie also expanded his territory. Then Warren Hastings also expanded company's territory. By his time, the company had acquired power not only in Bengal but also in Bombay and Madras. Okay, where? Not only in Bengal, but where? Bengal, then Bombay and Madras also. When Warren Hastings was the Governor General, company acquired power in Bengal, Bombay and Madras. British territories were broadly divided into administrative units that called presidencies. There were 3 presidencies: Bengal, Madras and Bombay. Each was ruled by a governor, and they have a different governor. The supreme head of the administration was the Governor General, Warren Hastings. And Governor General Warren Hastings, he was the supreme head. And in different presidency, there was different governor. Introduced several administrative reforms, but Warren Hastings introduced different administrative reforms, notably in the sphere of justice. From 1772, a new system of justice was established. Each district was have to have 2 courts. When in 1772, from 1772, there were 2 different courts in each district. Okay, a criminal court that's called Faujdari Adalat and a civil court that's called Diwani Adalat. So they made change in the sphere of justice, and so that their two codes were there, Faujdari and Diwani. Faujdari for criminal code and Diwani it's for financial. Okay. Faujdari Adalat and a civil code, these were the two different codes there. Maulavis and Hindu Pandit interpreted Indian laws for the European district collectors who preside over civil courts. So that laws, they were the based on Hindu laws and Muslim laws. The criminal code were still under a Qazi and Mufti, but under the supervision of the collector. That's about how they setting up a new administration. But a major problem was that the Brahman Pandits give different interpretation of local laws based on different schools of the Dharma Shastra. There were different Dharma Shastras, and so that Brahman Pandits gave different interpretation on different Dharma Shastras, and so that British were confused. To bring about uniformity in 1775, 11 Pandits translated the digest into English, and by 1778 a code of Muslim laws was also compiled for the benefit of European judges. In 1778, they also compiled a new digest for the Muslim. So a major problem was that the Brahman Pandits gave different interpretation of local laws based on different schools of the Dharma Shastra. To bring about uniformity in 1775, 11 Pandits were asked to compile a digest of Hindu laws, and we had translated these digests into English. And by 1778, a code of Muslim laws was also compiled for the benefit of European judges. Under the Regulating Act of 1773, a new Supreme Court was established. When in 1773, new Supreme Court was established, while a Court of Appeal, the Sadar Nizam Adalat, was also set up in Calcutta. The principal figure in an Indian district was the collector. As the title suggests, his main job was to collect revenue and taxes and maintain law and order to his district. So this was the help of, this is his office, the collector. He became the new center of power and patronized that steadily replaced previous holders of authority. And so that collector, it became the main center of power. That is about, they said, how they said a new administration. Then the company army. Colonial rule in India brought in some new ideas of administration and reform, but its power rested on its military state. The Mughal army was mainly composed of cavalry. Cavalry means what? Savars. 10 soldiers on horseback, that's called cavalry. And infantry means that is paidal, means foot soldiers. They were given training in archery. Archery means tirandazi, and the use of the sword. The cavalry dominated the professionally trained infantry. The rural areas had a large number of armed prisoners, and the local Zamindars often supplied the Mughal to the Paidal soldiers. So they asked for if they want soldiers, they asked the Zamindars, and Zamindar they supplied Paidal soldiers to the Mughals. A change occurred in the 18th century when Mughal successor states like Awadh and Benares started recruiting peasants into their armies and training them as a professional soldier. The East India Company adopted the same method when it began recruitment of its own army. British East India also, they adopted same recruitment method, which came to be known as the Sepoy Army. That is called Sepoy Army. Sepoy Army. Which this Sepoy means somewhere foot, that is cavalry, infantry, and somewhere cavalry means on the horse. So a change occurred in the 18th century when Mughal successor states like Awadh and Benares started recruiting peasants into their armies and training them as a professional soldiers. The East India Company adopted the same method when it began recruitment for its own army, which came to be known as the Sepoy Army. From the Indian word, it's called Sipahi, meaning soldiers. As warfare technology changed from the 1820s, the cavalry requirement of the company's army declined. Because war strategy changed, and so that their cavalry requirement that declined. This is because the British Empire was fighting in Burma. Then Afghanistan and Egypt, where soldiers were armed with muskets and matchlocks. Okay? And so that there was a decline of the cavalry soldiers. Thank you very much.